Hello guys, welcome to this lesson on broker selection. So basically I'm going to share with you what is the pros and cons and the different types of brokers that I personally use for trading the US market and also the Singapore or even Hong Kong market. And then we're going to go into understanding how do you use the Thinkorswim trading platform. So what are some of the basic things that you need to know when you use the software, and I'm going to share with you how to set up your charts for the 1 year 1 day time frame and the 1 year 2 days time frame, and also the 4 years 1 week time frame for swing trading. Okay, so without further ado, let's move on right to broker selection first. So over here, these are the different kind of brokers, right, that I actually know of. And personally for the US market, I have two accounts. I have the Thinkorswim account and also the Interactive Brokers account. Okay, so take note that for Thinkorswim, right, the commission is a little bit higher for trading stocks. So you will have to pay about $5 uh, for one side. That means if you buy and sell, it's about $10. Okay, for Interactive Brokers, the cost is actually very low, right? If you buy and sell the same stocks with the same size, usually pay about $1 to $2. Okay, so of course you will say that of course Interactive Brokers is much cheaper, right? However, in terms of the charts, right? In terms of the charts, Thinkorswim charts is much nicer and aesthetically much easier, functionally much easier to use in my opinion. Okay, I use both because there are times when I also trade futures and forex, and in Thinkorswim you cannot trade futures or forex. You cannot trade forex. You can still trade futures, but in Interactive Brokers I can trade futures, forex, options, and even stocks. Okay, so I also do options. So at times I also execute some options trades in my Thinkorswim platform as well, because I have a more preferred commissions in Thinkorswim. So if you just want to trade solely stocks, right, and you don't mind paying a little bit higher commission, you can stick to Thinkorswim. You can go ahead and stick to Thinkorswim. Okay, if not, you can open the Interactive Brokers account. So the minimum to fund the Thinkorswim account is around 3.5k, right? That's the minimum to fund a Thinkorswim account, 3.5k USD. Okay, for Interactive Brokers, from what I understand, you need to fund at least 3k, right? And for Interactive Brokers, they do charge. There are some hidden costs, like they do charge this a few dollars for market data costs and inactivity fee. But for Thinkorswim, there's no inactivity fee and there's no market data charges. All right, so go and do your shopping, right, to see which broker actually suits you, right? Okay. And for Singapore stocks, I do trade through mainly DBS Vickers. For my local Singapore stocks and even Hong Kong stocks, I trade through DBS Vickers. And these are some of the other brokers, right, that you may come across that you can actually open to trade. So for CMC, IG, Saxo, and Oanda, they do cover this thing called CFD, right? If you want to use CFD, you can, or Forex, you can trade through them, consider them as well. Okay, so go and do your comparison of the different kind of different brokers, and see, and most importantly, to make sure that over here, right, to consider the commissions, right? Of course, if you are doing a high short-term trading, right, definitely you want your commissions to be lower, right? If you are doing swing trading and you don't mind paying a bit more commissions for a better platform like Thinkorswim, you can always stick to Thinkorswim, your own preference. And of course, you need to check the financing rate. Okay, the financing rate, like if you're doing CFD, you do have to pay this thing called a financing rate. If you're trading a margin account and you use the account margin, you're going to pay a financing rate. Okay, and of course the spreads. If you're trading forex, you need to understand what's the spread, which broker gives you a much tighter spreads. And of course, not just in terms of commission, right? Not just the lowest price. You want to be able to use a platform that is more usable, right? Like Thinkorswim, to me, is one of the top trading platform in the world, right? In terms of usability and aesthetic. And the products available for trading. So like I mentioned, Thinkorswim, you can trade options, stocks, and futures, but you cannot trade forex. So if you're trading forex, you have to choose another kind of brokers, other kind of brokers like Interactive Brokers, Wanda, IG, and so on. okay? And of course, your frequency of trading, if you're trading high frequency or low frequency, like I mentioned, you will do affect your decision to open with a different kind of broker as well. And of course, in this time and age, nobody, I don't think, if you're a professional trader, you don't need advice, right? You don't need people to give you advice on what you should buy, right? You should make your own personal decisions, okay? All right, so these are some of the kind of charts that in trading we have, like line chart, bar chart, candlestick chart. And of course, in price action manipulation methodology, we'll still be looking at the candlestick chart, but we actually call it bars. Instead of calling it candlestick bars, we call it just price action bars. You do have each bar, you have the information of the open, high, low, and close. Okay, so let's move on to go straight to your platform setup. Go to your main screen. Okay, so this is your main screen. Okay, click on the tab here called charts, flexible grid. Okay, please make sure that you click on charts, flexible grid. You will click on charts and then charts here. You're going to have to redo your settings later on. So please make sure that you're clicking on charts and flexible grid. Okay, I understand that your flexible grid may not have any symbol, and it probably is something like this. It's probably something like let's say something like this, right? Okay, doesn't matter. Let's say your platform is something like this, right? You do have different boxes. Go to the top right corner under grid action, click on check the customize grid over here. Okay, and then click on this. You see this slash? You see slash is to delete away the box. So delete away until you are left with one box. Let's say I delete the top two boxes until I'm left with one box, and you can see there's this tick sign at the sidebar. Uncheck the sidebar. Okay, do uncheck the sidebar. Once you are done, you doesn't need this anymore. Go to grid action, uncheck the customize grid. Uncheck the customize grid. And let's say for now, let's key in JPM, JP Morgan. Okay, JPM. Okay, let's key in JPM. And your charts is probably like this, right? Okay, doesn't matter. We're going to do a configuration. Okay, so your time frame also may not be the same as mine. It's okay, it's normal. Okay, just follow the steps I'm going to go through over here. So at the top right hand corner, click on this thing called detach. It's basically like photocopying out the view of the chart, okay, the window. Okay, and maximize, double click at the top to maximize the charts over here. So first thing I'm going to do here is make sure you key in the JPM symbol, and this is what you're going to do. Mouse over, see my cursor, mouse over anywhere in the chart, right click style settings. Go to right click style settings and make sure that you have all these parameters that's similar to me. Okay, so my local time is GMT plus 8. Okay, GMT plus 8. So by default, if you're Singapore, Malaysia, you'll be using the GMT plus 8. Okay, so make sure that you do have all these parameter check over here. I don't look at symbol logo, so I just uncheck them because I don't want to be influenced by the companies that I trade. Okay, so after you are done, go to time axis. So under time axis, the things to take note is that the expansion area, which is the space on the right side of the chart, you'll enter as 10 by default. So over here, just uncheck all these lines here for the display, and then make sure that your aggregation type time, your time interval is 1 year, and your aggregation period is 1 day. Okay, 1 year, we're looking at 1 year, 1 day. Okay, once you're done, okay, go on to equities. So under equities, please uncheck this, right? Uncheck the show extended hours trading, uncheck this, and uncheck show volume subgraph, because we're not going to look at volume bars in our methodology. Okay, so we're going to uncheck the show volume subgraph, uncheck this as well. Corporate action, yes, you're going to leave it there because you want to know when is the earnings, right? Okay, once you're done, press OK. And your chart should look something like this, right? Not something, your chart must look exactly like this, right? Okay. Once you're done, you're going to put in the SMA. So you're going to put in the 20 and 50 SMA, you mouse over anywhere in the chart, right click studies, edit studies. Okay, you're going to key in here SIM, double click once, double click twice, go to this spanner icon here, and the length just change to 20 in green, right? Let's say you want 20 SMA green color, press OK, go on to the next one, change this to 50. Of course, just now it's a green color for 20 SMA. Now you're going to change it for, let's say, any color you like. Let's say by default I use the orange color, right? And then once you're done, that's it. Just press OK. Okay, you should have exactly what I have over here, right? The 20 and 50 SMA, right? Okay. So basically this is what the kind of settings that we're going to put into the 1 year 1 day chart. Okay, so once you're done, you can save the layout. Okay, you can save the layout. Let's say you save this as go to the grid action, save flexible grid as PAM day, for example. So this is a PAM day, price action manipulation underscore day layout. You can call it any name you want. Okay, so let's have save this. So you're done with the PAM day chart. So now you're going to use configure the 1 year 2 days chart. Okay, so you can actually go to the top right corner again and photocopy this out. So I create another same window out, or photocopy another new window out, but this time around using the same settings, I'm going to change this time frame. So how do you change the time frame? You can go to the top right hand corner here, the top corner here, time frame setup. You can click this, go to time frame, daily, 1 year 2 days. Okay, and the reason why we are using you realize that I restrict you to the time frame they're looking at. Okay, so by default we're using the 1 year 2 days time frame for swing trading stocks. So if there is no LP on the left side of the chart, we take it as is not there is in no, we take it as the chart is in no man's land. Okay, so just follow the time frame. I really restricted it for you to 1 year 2 days. Okay, so once you are done with this 1 year 2 day setup, go to the top right corner and save flexible grid as PAM 2 day. Okay, the reason why you save it over here is so that you save it the settings over here is so that later on, let's say you at home, you have a desktop, right? You can use the desktop, log into your account, and you can call back the same setting. Okay, but if you do the configuration here in the live account and you go back home, you want to use the paper account, or in the same computer you want to use the paper account, you have to redo the configuration again. Okay, and if you have to redo configuration again, just take it as a practice or a kind of exercise for you to see if you understand the platform. Okay, so you're done with the PAM 2 day, and for now, right, I'm going to share with you how to do the 4 years 1 week chart. So again, I'm going to photocopy this out, detach, maximize. So I'm going to change the time frame now to time interval 4 years 1 week. So for the weekly chart, we are using the 4 years time frame 1 week per bar setting. Okay, so this is the one that you have over here. Okay, make sure you have it exactly. So again, you're going to save it. It's very straightforward. We're going to save it as PAM week for this, right? So you have the PAM 1 day, 2 days, and the weekly chart for swing trading. So you can choose either one of these settings to do your swing trading. Okay, so let's say now okay, go back to the JPM 1 year 2 days, right click, style, save style. When you do this, you basically are saving the settings in this chart. And there's a reason why I'm saving the settings over here, which I'm going to share with you later on. So save the style over here first. Name the style as, let's say, number 1, and then please click on include patterns and study sets over here. Okay, please make sure you include these patterns and study sets, so they will save the settings, all the settings that is in this particular chart. Okay, all right, so I'm going to share with you how do you do this thing called a monitor X. how do you let's say you have a desktop at home, or you want to look at multiple stocks in one screen. How do you do that, right? You don't have to toggle, keep changing the symbol. How do you do multiple stocks window, right, in one screen? So I'm going to share with you this. So again, we're going to go to top right hand corner, press detach, right? Press detach. Okay, and then this is what I'm going to do. Watch my cursor, go to top right corner again, under show grid action, click on customize grid. Okay, under customize grid, you will see that your this pop-up box comes out. Okay, you look at this, right? Look at my cursor. If you click on this, the first square, you're going to add in new windows at the bottom. You click on the right side square, you're going to add in windows on the right. Okay, you click on the right, you can add in more windows on the right, on the right, on the right. So understand how this thing basically works, and then once you're done, uncheck all the sidebar. Okay, once you uncheck all the sidebar, take away the square pop-up box. Go to grid action, uncheck customize grid. Okay, uncheck customize grid, and then key in all the stocks that you're looking at. Let's say you're looking at JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Apple, Facebook, and let's say you're looking at Boeing, right? It's one of the hottest stocks right now, right? Because of the virus issue. And also, let's say you're looking at okay, let's say look at Google, right? Okay, so you can see that all these charts, right, okay, are not configured the same as your JP Morgan 1 year 2 days chart. So do we have to redo again? Okay, you do not need to redo the setup individually again, because I have just shared with you how do you save the style. So what you're going to do is look at my cursor, right click into the box, right click anywhere in the box, style, load style 1 that you saved just now. Remember the one that you saved for the 1 year 2 days, and then you're going to load the 1 year 2 days for JP Morgan here. So you're going to right click, style, load style 1, right click, style, load style 1. So do that for all the settings here. You may see some lines that I have in some of the charts here because it's because of the I was trading and I'm looking at the levels in the chart. Okay, you can ignore the lines here. So style, load style 1. There you have it. You have it for all, and you realize that all the mouse cursor is all in sync, right? It's all synchronized. Okay, so once you're done, you can save this. Okay, you can go to the grid action, save flexible grid as. You can save this as PAM monitor X. You can take this as a screen for you to monitor the stocks that you are looking at, you shortlisted. Okay, if you have multiple screens, you can have more stocks that you monitor. You can also put in the index futures, oil, gold, or charts that things that you are looking at or monitoring. That's why we call it a monitor X screen. Okay, you don't have to exactly follow what I put here, like Goldman Sachs, Apple. You can put in any stocks, any products that you like. Understand? My purpose here to share with you how do you do multiple flexible grid. Okay, so do up something that you like. You can have just 4 screen or even 8 screen. Depends on your own preference. All right. So let's go on to let's go back to 1 year 2 days chart. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you. I'm going to teach you basically how do you go about. Okay, how do you go about managing a chart in the platform. So you see my mouse over here. Let's say you see this x-axis. You see this double arrow line at the horizontal axis. Let's say you hold on the left button and you drag it to the left side. You'll realize that the chart actually zoom inwards, right? Zoom horizontally, right? That means you are zooming in horizontally, right? Okay. If you go to the y-axis, right? Y-axis, you see my cursor. You left click and you drag all the way down. You'll see that the chart is being squeezed in. Okay. So this is something that we need to take note. Okay. When we look at charts, it's very important that the painting is within the frame. That means you want to see that the art piece, right? The art piece, the graph, is within the time frame that you're looking at. So in this case, we're looking at the 1 year 2 days time frame. So we want to see that the price action, right, fits nicely into the frame. Okay, it shouldn't be too like this, right? Because it's all squeezed in. We're not maximizing the frame. It should be nicely maximizing the frame, not too out. We still can see the entire big picture of the chart. Similarly, if you're using the 4 years 1 week chart, you want to see that the picture is within the frame. Okay, so you don't want your charts to be like this as well, right? If you do it like this, right, everything to you is a small bar, right? Also, you don't want to expand your chart like this, right? Because if you look at your chart like this, everything to you is a flush up and flush down, right? So make sure that to have the unbiased view of the chart, make sure that it fits the screen nicely. Play around with the chart, play around with playing with the horizontal and the vertical axis. There are times when after you play around with the chart, okay, you can, okay, let's say the chart becomes like this. You don't know where you click, and then the charts jump into some space. What can you do? You can go to the top right corner under drawings using the drawing tools, this thing called pen, is to grab the chart back. Okay, minimize, and try to grab the charts back. Okay, let me see. Okay, so you can slowly grab. Okay, you must be very good in the view of the platform. You can grab the charts back. Okay, and then you can move it back to the middle to maximize it in the screen, right? How about there are times when the chart is somewhere else and you can't drag it back? What should you do? You don't need to restart your computer. Okay, so what you're going to do is, since you already done the settings for PAM 2 days, 1 year 2 days, go and find PAM 2 days again, and basically just load the settings again. You don't have to really just drag it back. You can just recall the settings again. Understand? So if you get lost, just recall the settings again, and the platform will load it up again for you. All right. So now let's understand how do you actually draw a horizontal line. So go to drawings, under drawing tools, go under this thing called a price level. So there's a dollar sign and then the horizontal line here below the dollar sign, right? Price level. So let's say, for example, right, you want to go long. Okay. Let's say, for example, you left click once. See, you want to click this, you left click once. Okay, move your cursor to the right. Once you're satisfied, click again. Okay. I believe that some of you, your settings may not be the same as me. Yours may be extended to the right side. So, but understand that what you're going to do when you draw a line is left click once and drag your mouse to the right side, and you're satisfied, left click again. So if you want to configure the properties of the line, okay, you can watch over here. Then you have to mouse over to the line until it becomes bold. Right click, edit properties. So this is the settings for my line. I have no left extension. I don't have any right extension. I don't show the name. I only show the price on the left. So if you want the setting the same as me, click on save as default and then press OK. So in future, all you need to do is to left click, drag to the right side. Once you're satisfied, press again, and you have the same kind of lines as me. Okay. And let's say you want to put a line at $93.40. You don't have to draw a line exactly at $93.40. Understand? You don't have to exactly draw a line there. You can just draw a line near to $93.40, for example, and mouse over to the line, right click, edit properties, and change it over here, $93.40. Understand? And then press OK. So it will automatically go to the level that you want. Okay, cool. So over here now, I'm going to practice drawing the $93.40 in your platform. And let's say you are drawing as well a level here. Okay, let's say a level here. Draw another line at 76.3, for example. I'm going to configure this as a green line. Change the color to green to show you that, okay, let's say this is your entry. So take it as there's no setup here. It's just for illustration purposes. Let's say the green line, go to enter, and $76.30 is your, let's say, is a red line, is where you put your is where you put your stop loss. Okay, so you're going to learn how to do what we call a visual fib extension target. So this is what I'm going to do, right? Go to the top side of the chart, go under drawing tools here, and then go to Fibonacci extension, not retracement. Please go to extension. So once you're at the extension, right, mouse over near to the red line, okay, and then drag the tool to the green line, left click again, and drag it back down to the red line to form a kind of triangle. Okay, I understand that by default, let me just go back to the factory setting here. Your lines, your Fibonacci tool will look something like this, right? Okay, will look something like this, is normal. So I'm going to show you again. Go to drawing tools under Fibonacci extension here. You always left click on the suppose stop loss first. So you left click on the suppose stop loss first, drag the tool to the suppose entry, left click again and drag back down to the suppose stop loss. So you do 1, 2, 3 clicks, click one, click one, click one. So you have something like this. And then now we're going to do a configuration, right, of this extension. So you mouse over until the extension becomes bold, right click, edit properties. So follow my settings over here. So extension off, coefficient do not show, show price, yes, on the left. You can follow my settings here. The value of the price doesn't matter. You can just make sure that the points that you press are near to the lines, and that's it. Okay. The most important is to look over here, right? I'm going to uncheck all these things here, and probably I'll just put in the 2.5 and 3. Okay. Width, I don't like to have too thick a width, so I would like it to be like this. Once I'm done, press save as default. Okay, and then press OK. You will have something like this. So what's the meaning behind this Fibonacci extension tool is that if you long in the green line, right, if the price goes up to this first level here, you will make a risk reward of 1:1.5. If the price continues back up above this line, you're going to make 1:1.2, right? So when you put over here the settings as 2.5, you're basically looking at a risk reward of 1:1.5 at least, right? If you can just you can also uncheck this if you don't want, if you just want to do a 1:2, you can just leave the 3 here, okay? But by default, I'm just going to put 2 of them in this platform. So if you put the settings as parameter as 3 over here, you're looking at a Fibonacci extension of a risk of 1:2. Okay. So basically, right? Basically, the Fibonacci extension tool is a quick way for you to visually see in the chart where is your supposed target in the chart, to give a visual gauge of where your chart. If you want to be exactly precise about where is your exit on 1:2, you will have to use the risk and money management spreadsheet, right, that I share with you. You will have to key in the stop loss, let's say 76.3, 93.4. This will give you the exact 1:2 or 3 target that you desire, right? You can change the green one. Okay, this will give it exact. The Fibonacci tool is not an exact tool to calculate your size. It won't tell you your size, but it's just a quick tool to show you where roughly where prices has to move for you to achieve your desired risk reward. Okay, so now let's say you are looking at to short the red line. Let's say maybe I use another example, right? Let me take a look at, let's say let's say Boeing. All right, so let's say let me just clear this. So let's say, regardless of the strategy, let's say now there's a short setup for illustration purposes. Let's say there's a short setup here, and you put a stop loss at the 189.92. Okay, you can do the same thing to do a projection down of what's your target. So again, okay, our color code this as red, right? So let's say your short entry is blue color. right? So again, you're going to mouse over to the stop loss first. You left click once and then drag it down to the entry level, left click another time, drag it back up to the stop loss level until it becomes bold, and then click again. It will show you a projection of where roughly prices must move for you to achieve your 1:2 or 1:1.5 and 1:2 target. Understand? So this is a very quick tool for you to do a visual projection. Okay, so basically we're not really using the Fibonacci numbers. We are just really using hard coding this parameter for our own usage. All right. So I'll go back to the JP Morgan example. So let's say, for example, right, you want to after you enter the trade to go long in this red, green line, right? You want to you put the OCO order, right? You will put in the earlier video you learn how to put in the OCO order. So let's say you put in the OCO order, right? And you want the platform to actually give you a ping and alert you when you reach the target price or the stop loss price. So how do you actually put what we call an alert? Okay, I personally use alert a lot, and I love to put alert because it gives me a more relaxed lifestyle of trading. I don't have to monitor the charts. If you reach a certain level, the platform will alert me. Okay, so for example, at this level 118.54, I'm going to put alert. Let's say I mouse over, right click, create alert. Okay, so I can change the settings over here, 118.54. Okay, and of course, since I want the price to go above them before the alert will be triggered, I need to make sure that this is at or above. That's it. The rest of the settings here you don't have to change. Once you're satisfied, press create, and you can see there is a button over here that shows that the alert has been created. I can also create an alert here at 126.99. I'll mouse over, right click, create alert, 126.99. I also can create an alert at the bottom, right, in case the price stops me out. I want to be notified. I can mouse over, right click, create alert at or below, right, because now I'm looking at the price coming down to the stop loss. It has to be at or below. So I change to 76.3. So if the price so right click, replace alerts. I'm going to change this to 76.3. Okay, I have no idea why it's not changing, right? It should be changing to 76.3. Okay, at or below. Right, now it's done correctly. So if the price goes up, you're going to hit the alert, right? And then goes down, you're going to hit alert. So I don't have to monitor. And my OCO order would helps me to get out of the positions, to unwind the positions automatically. So it's a very good tool. Even if you don't have a positions, you can put alerts there to alert you when the price hit a certain key levels without you monitoring. So where would the alert be sent to you? So my advice is to download the Thinkorswim app in your phone. So whether you're using Android or iPhone, download the app and then make sure you allow notification. So when you allow notification, when there is alert being triggered in Thinkorswim, it will becomes like a pop-up, okay, to your phone, right? Because you enable the notification, so it's going to be real time. And you can also enable this. Go to your main screen under setups. Go to this main screen under setup, top right hand corner under setup, application settings. Go under notification, right? You can also create an email for Thinkorswim to send you an email whenever your alert is being triggered. So by default, I have this email called spytraderfutures@gmail.com, where I receive all the alerts from Thinkorswim. Okay, my suggestion is to use an email that is not personal, right? It's not personal, where you is just a non-personal email, like that's just for trading purposes, where we receive all the trading alerts, so you do not make it too cluttered with your personal ones, right? So this is the one that I chosen, this Gmail that I have. You can have your own. Okay, if you are in the US, you can add a number. If not, over here, for us in Singapore or Malaysia, we cannot add the numbers here, because the numbers the text will only be sent to a US number. Okay, so once you have the email confirmed, okay, then you can just click on apply settings. So that's it. You will have your alert once the levels are being triggered. All right. All right, I hope we have followed through what we have done for the Thinkorswim trading software setup and also broker selection. So if any questions, do post to me and I'll be glad to help you out with your setup. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video.